chances with Swisher. The Indians only need a single. They just need a man aboard.
Swisher lines it right field line. Fair ball! Indians win it! Nick Swisher, a walk-off game-winning single. And now Nick Swisher feels right at home. Another chilly day in downtown Cleveland as the Indians continue their three-game weekend series against the Chicago White Sox. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Last night, the Indians got an unbelievably well-pitched game from Justin Masterson, a 5-hit complete game shutout. They only needed one run. They got that in the bottom of the ninth, courtesy of Nick Swisher. Now you just want to see if Zach McAllister maybe can continue with that momentum.
That may be the best game we see all year long last night on both sides as far as pitching goes. And McAllister in his first start against Tampa pitched a really good ball game. He did not get the win, but Zach is a big competitor. I think he's going to be the second best pitcher on this team. He rides that four-seam fastball upstairs, and if he can keep his emotions under check, he'll be just fine. But he's matched up against a tough customer. Chris Sale in his career 2-0 against the Indians. Left-handers against Sale this year, 1 for 15.
Well, the Indians have their right-handed bats in the lineup this afternoon. You're going to see Mike Aviles in there. Also in the lineup for the Indians, Yan Gomes is going to be behind the plate. They had hoped to get Carlos Santana back in the starting lineup, but Rick, after batting practice, the thumb still didn't feel like it was ready to go.
Well, you can see in this weather, it's awfully chilly out there, chance of a little rain, a little snow out there. I don't blame him. Sit him one more day. Maybe he will be ready to go tomorrow.
We'll be back with the starting lineups. Today's first pitch as the Indians now have their first home win of the season. Can they make it back-to-back wins over the gang from the south side of Chicago? Zach McAllister will try to pitch the Tribe to a second straight home win next on Sports Time Ohio. Backhanded pick by Cabrera and throws him out. He swung out and missed. He got him. Swisher lines it right field line. Fair ball. Indians win it. Hey, welcome you into Progressive Field here in downtown Cleveland, where our game time temperature today, 44 degrees under cloudy skies. Take a quick look at the White Sox starting lineup under manager Robin Ventura, Alejandro Diaz, Jeff Keppinger, and Alex Rios. Then it's Dunn, Konerko, and Viciedo, Connor Gillespie, Alexei Ramirez, and Tyler Flowers batting ninth. We're underway as the first pitch is in there, a called strike to Alejandro Diaz, who was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. The Indians winning 1-0 on Nick Swisher's RBI single in the bottom of the ninth. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes. As Zach McAllister tries to follow the lead of Justin Masterson, who threw more than 70% of his pitches for strikes last night. The 0-2 fouled back.
Well, and he made it really look easy. You know, it was a cool night. It's crisp. A lot of times it's hard to throw a breaking ball when it's this chilly outside, but both pitchers did a great job. Tough to hit in this kind of weather. I think advantage goes to the pitching, so go ahead and pound the strike zone. Hitters will be aggressive.
Ran it up high, and Diaz able to check his swing. Missed down and in to even the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the game time temperature 44 and just enough of a breeze to make it feel like it's in the 30s. McAllister's 2-2 offering in the air to left field. Michael Brantley over near the line and makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, let's check out the Indians' defense this afternoon behind McAllister. It is Michael Brantley in left, just making that catch. Michael Bourne in center. Drew Stubbs is in right. Aviles gets the start at third. Cabrera at short. Rayburn is at second base. His first start on the infield. Reynolds at first. Yan Gomes again behind the plate. Santana was in there as you look at the numbers for McAllister's first start. He was in there during batting practice, and then they made the change, so I don't know what happened. Maybe they felt maybe one more day.
Keppinger lines it down into the left field corner. He's got extra bases, and he'll stroll into second base with a double. He was 0 for 4 last night, but he's been swinging the bat better after an 0 for 19 start. He's now hit in 4 of his last 5 games.
Watch location. There it was, ball down the middle, and Keppinger takes advantage of it. They had 2 doubles last night out of their 5 hits.
Now we'll bring up Alex Rios, who is riding a 10-game hitting streak to start the year. 16 hits in 39 at-bats for Rios. The last time a White Sox hitter started a season with an 11-game hitting streak was Frank Thomas back in 2000.
Wow, that's going back a while.
The White Sox record book littered with Frank Thomas's name. 1-1. Hit off the end of the bat towards first. Backhanded nicely by Reynolds, but he flips it behind McAllister, and that will enable Keppinger to score. And down to second goes Rios. So the White Sox with a gift run, and this was a problem in McAllister's start against Tampa. The unearned runs.
Well, the one thing there, Reynolds, he broke, he stopped, and then he decided to go back again. And he was fine because he was able to get to the ball. I think he just tried to get rid of it too quickly to him. He had plenty of time with Rios running. He didn't lead him. He flipped it behind him as you see him going to his left before he makes the play. And it was just a bad flip by Mark Reynolds. It gets by him. The run will score. So that, I'm sure, will be an error as Rios gets to second base.
And now Adam Dunn drives one high in the air to right field. Back is Stubbs. Onto the warning track. At the wall, he makes the catch. Rios will tag and go to third. And out number 2 is a loud one. Well, let's take a look right now at our keys to the game this afternoon. You hope that McAllister can follow Masterson's lead from last night and The challenge for the Indians hitters will be dealing with Chris Sale, who is 1-0. In his 2 starts, he has a 1.84 ERA. Off to a very good start for the left-hander from Chicago, who has given up 1 hit in 2 starts to left-handed hitters. Paul Konerko 1 for 3 with a double last night and looks at a strike. Konerko is DHing for the 2nd straight game, and Robin Ventura said the key there is that for Konerko, who is 37 years old, when he plays in the field, sometimes the back will tend to stiffen up on him, and if he's leading off an inning, it takes him a little while to get loose. So when the temperatures are this cool, he feels it's just more beneficial to DH Konerko and let him try to stay loose.
Not a bad idea.
Final year of his contract with Chicago.
Plus, another thing that does, it lets Dunn get out there and play some defense, and he's got a much longer swing. There's a big 2-out base hit, and that's the one thing that McAllister has problems doing, picking it up after an error is made.
That makes it 2-0 Chicago as Konerko has his 6th RBI on the year.
So big 2-out base hit. Konerko just shoots it that way. Anytime he gets a runner in scoring position, he concentrates on right field. That's the guy that can hit home runs, but he drives them in because he thinks opposite field as Rios comes in to score, who reached on the error.
And again, this goes back to what you talked about, and same situation for Zach in Tampa. The runs count on the scoreboard, but they're unearned runs because of the error.
Well, it happened last year. It started, and it just never stopped.
High pop, foul territory. Reynolds, will he have room? He reaches into the crowd and hangs on, and the side is retired. But the White Sox strike first. Thanks to the error, they score a pair. The Indians are coming to bat. Terry Francona starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Michael Bourne is Drupal Cabrera and Ryan Rayburn. Then it's Swisher, Reynolds, and Brantley, Aviles, Gomes, and Stubbs. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance.
Chris Sale, look at this guy. He's not. He's a thin guy. Making his 3rd start, 1-0, a 1.84 ERA, and he has a difficult arm angle for right-handers as well as left-handers. Looks like he slings the ball up there, but a fine year last year for the White Sox.
Looks like a broomstick with arms.
It's, he is all arms and legs. Fastball, slider, he will change it, but a good year.
Bourne a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. 14 strikeouts and just over 14 innings for Sale. Just missing inside. Off-speed pitch, same location though he missed with it, and a full count now.
Oh, that's tough, Wade. Michael Bourne doing a nice job to lay off that pitch inside. I'll tell you, Bourne does a nice job against left-handers.
Weekly chopped to short. Alexi Ramirez guns it over, and Bourne is out number 1. Chris Sale, as we mentioned, he's all arms and legs. The tough arm angle. Tough on left-handers with more on Sale. Here's Katie with them.
Well, Matt, weather like this, the pitcher has an advantage. And I spoke with Indians hitting coach Ty Van Berkeleer earlier. He told me Sale doesn't need an advantage. He's got that funky delivery, that slurve ball that really goes up and into lefties and up and away to righties that's really hard to lay off of. He said the key today is to be patient, really make Sale work, but also it's good to get him now when his velocity's down.
All right, thanks, Katie. Again, Asdrubal Cabrera's struggles continue at the plate, bouncing out weakly to third. No patience at the plate, and that happens a lot when you see a hitter who is in a funk offensively.
Defensively for the White Sox, Viciedo in left, De Asa in center, Rios in right. Gillespie at third, Ramirez at short, Keppinger is at second, Dunn at first, and Tyler Flowers gets the start behind the plate today. Looks like it's night, though.
Ryan Rayburn takes a strike over the outside corner. Rayburn getting the start after Jason Kipnis was scratched with some soreness in his elbow. And then, of course, the Indians also scratching Carlos Santana. Santana was a later scratch. The good news for Kipnis, I guess, if you want to call it good news, is the elbow soreness not in his throwing arm, but in his left elbow. So Terry Francona felt like just a good day all the way around to give him a day off. And with Santana, after he took batting practice, just felt like the thumb wasn't ready to go for game time action.
Well, you certainly don't want to have a setback. You missed a couple days, and now if you try and rush him back, now you're looking at 10 days after the play. You have to make sure next time you put him in there, he is ready.
Up and away in a full count to Rayburn. There is Carlos Santana standing next to Ubaldo Jimenez with the hooded sweatshirt on, and he was really feeling comfortable. Felt like he was going to be able to get back into the lineup today. Rayburn draws a walk. Inning stays alive. A 2-out base runner for the Tribe. Just the 4th walk issued by Sale in over 15 innings of work now on the year. Ed Hickok's calling the balls and strikes this afternoon. Corey Blazer at first. The crew chief Jim Joyce at second. And Jim Wolf down at third. The batter now is Nick Swisher, who was the hero last night with a game-winning hit in the bottom of the 9th inning, but he was quick to talk about Bourne's leadoff double, about the good at-bat that Jason Kipnis had, and about Justin Masterson and the job he did pitching. And I think that is why teammates are drawn to him, and it's why he is such a good leader in a ball club, because he's always quick to talk about other people. He's never, he's not a guy to self-promote or say, hey,
it's
look
not
at me.
It's not an me guy. No, sirree. And that's what it takes when you're in a room full of 25. I mean, you come up there, you keep everything loose, you worry about everybody, and that's good. You certainly need it. They haven't had a guy like this in a long time in the clubhouse. And it's going to take a while, but you be patient. The chemistry of this ball club will grow as the year grows and as the wins come, like yesterday.
Chris Sale deals. Swisher with a long drive. Deep left. Back is Viciedo. Looking up. It is gone to Souvenir City. Nick Swisher with a 2-out, 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. And we are tied at 2. Look at that big smile as Swish rounds third and heads home.
Boy, oh boy, he crushed a cookie right there. And this ball game is back to even. The Indians did this on opening day to the Yankees, where they gave up 3 runs in the first inning. They come right back after a 2-out walk to Rayburn. Swisher hits his first of the year, and I mean, he got every bit of that one. That sounded great, you know, in a day and an afternoon like today.
Now Mark Reynolds looks at a fastball belt high.
Third home run given up by Sales, and there's a fastball. Boy, that thing came right over the heart of the plate, and he knew it. Sales said, oh boy, here we go. We're all tied again.
And he's ramped it up a little bit in these first 2 to Reynolds.
Nice sound to that one, huh?
That was barreled.
Yes, it was. That's a nice sound to that one if you're a hitter. Bad sound if you're the pitcher.
And the 0-2. Reynolds pops it up foul, done near the railing, makes the catch. And that will retire the Indians, but not before Nick Swisher comes up with a 2-out, 2-run homer to tie the game. By McDonald's new Premium McWrap. Fresh vegetables, tasty sauces, and juicy chicken in a warm tortilla. Try one today. Two our score. Nick Swisher, the Buckeye, with a 2-run blast in the bottom of the first.
Well, this is it. They come right back. This is big for Zach McAllister. Now it's zeros on the board. The Indians couldn't do that opening day when they had Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound. He came right back and let him.
Is swinging a hot bat for Chicago. He was 2 for 3 last night. That's 3 straight multi-hit games for him, and he starts the day off with a line drive base hit.
How come he was a late addition to this team? Because he looks like he belongs. Another high fastball out over the plate. McAllister's got to get it down. That was a 2-seamer. He rides the 4-seamer up past the hitters a lot of times, but not the 2-seamer. That one has to stay down in the zone.
Alexi Ramirez taking a strike. The White Sox acquired Connor Gillespie from San Francisco for a minor league right-handed pitcher, Jeff Sopcich, who is 6'6", 215 pounds, and a former third-round pick back in 2011 by Chicago. But it looks like
They got a keeper in Gillespie, at least from what we've seen so
yeah,
far.
when you look at the first 2 games, you're thinking, holy smokes, who is this guy and where did he come from? Well, as you mentioned, the Giants, he's off to a good start.
And only really getting an opportunity
because of
the injury to Gordon Beckham.
Right.
Forced them to shuffle things around on the infield.
Well, sometimes that's all you need is the crack in that door, and you want to step and push your way through it. Well, after 2 games, that's exactly what he's doing.
Ramirez base hit in the left field, and now Alexi Ramirez has hit in 8 straight games for Chicago, and right back comes Chicago. Back-to-back base hits here in the 2nd inning at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, this is where you got to slam it. As a pitcher, you go out, you put a 0 on the board. There's a breaking ball down, and Ramirez, a good low ball hitter. He finds the hole, gets it past Cabrera, so they start out back-to-back singles. And now Zach McAllister has to work hard.
McAllister in a jam here in the 2nd and facing a struggling hitter in Tyler Flowers, who homered in his first 2 games of the year and since then has gone 0 for 17. Pitch down low, ball 1.
Yeah, sometimes in some guys you hit home runs, it can put you in a slump because you try and hit them.
Well, you look at Asdrubal Cabrera, really. I mean, since that homer on opening day, he has really had a tough time getting it going.
Flowers is a big guy, and he's going to hit his share of home runs. He's a strong guy just from putting a good swing on it. But sometimes the harder you try to hit a home run, you've got big holes in that swing. And you could see right there that was a long swing. Able to run that ball in. Right now, McAllister would trade a ground ball double play. So he was tardy on that one, and that ball was by him.
McAllister with the 1-1.
Nice.
Fastball nails the outside corner.
No, this is the one guy that, there's a lot of pressure on him. He's taking a rollover for A.J. Przinsky. He's going to be the everyday catcher. And a lot of people felt like, he's never proven himself before. You could be taking a risk here. He's a good receiver and thrower of the baseball, but will he hit?
He strikes out, 1 away. Good work by McAllister. Really exploiting the hole in his swing, as you talked about, Rick.
He did. He kept it inside, and rightfully so. After you saw the first swing on that 2-seamer he ran in, he saw it was a long swing. He threw it by him. He dotted the outside corner with a 4-seamer, then goes up high with another strike and gets the first out of the inning.
Now Alejandro Diaza, who flied to left his first time up. Swung on and missed. Well, despite going 0 for last night, Diaza, who got off to a bit of a slow start, 0 for his first 9. But after that, he had 10 hits in his last 31 at-bats coming into this series last night. With 2 on and 1 out. He goes to bunt.
Let it go.
It's going to go foul.
Yeah, it just caught the edge of the grass. Not a bad idea. It was the element of surprise right there. He had Avila's back. And if that ball stays on the grass, that's put it in your back pocket bunt. But watch how it catches the edge of the grass and it trickles foul. See the spin on it right there. Gets into foul territory. Right at that point, you have to say, let it go.
So Diaza back to the plate now, down on the count 0-2. The appeal, he didn't go.
Throws him a high fastball, and he's able to check his swing.
This has been a tough spot for the White Sox. As De Aza fouls it into the lower deck.
Be
trying
careful.
to hit in the clutch. They, on the year, 9 for 66. Last 6 games, just 6 hits and 43 at bats with a runner in scoring position. Last night they were 0 for 4, 1 for 4 so far today.
You better be careful down in that area with De Aza. You better make sure it's in off the plate.
He went too
Yes,
far
he
that
did.
time. And a big strikeout for McAllister. Back-to-back Ks. 2 down in the inning.
He followed it up. You see, De Aza got that breaking ball down and in that he hit, and there's the good fastball right there. He couldn't hold up on it. Couldn't check his swing, so a perfect time to get your first 2 strikeouts is after the first 2 men reach.
De Aza wanted to pound his bat into the ground after he comes up empty there. Now Jeff Keppinger, who doubled into the left field corner his first time up. Key spot here for McAllister to get out of the inning.
Yes.
And not allow the big 2-out base hit that has been a bugaboo.
Well, he didn't throw a good pitch the first time up to Keppinger. He threw one right down the middle, and he hurt him down the line.
Oh, fastball started it on the outside corner. It came back toward the middle of the plate, but it looked as though maybe Keppinger had given up on it initially.
There you go. Pretty
Late
good movement
huh?
on it.
Two-strike pitch. Little one hopper to second. Rayburn on the move. Fields it, fires it low, and nicely scooped on the backhand by Mark Reynolds to end the inning. Oh, nice job by Zach McAllister. 2 hits to start the inning. He gets out of the frame unscathed. Two-two, bottom of the second inning. Michael Brantley, Mike Aviles, Jan Gomes due up for the Tribe. Many in attendance here tonight, really bundled up. Brantley was 1 for 3 with a double in last night's series opener. Popped up foul and out of play. somewhat unusual, Rick, I guess, when you think about it, in that this is, now we did have the 2 rainouts, but this is 3 straight games that the Indians have faced a left-handed starter. That's pretty rare that you face 3 left-handers consecutively.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it looks like some teams have a couple of them, and, you know, just how the schedule falls, I guess.
The 1-2. Brantley bangs it on the ground to second. Keppinger throws him out, 1 away. We had a chance to talk with Indians pitching coach Mickey Callaway between innings. Mickey, Zach McAllister gives up back-to-back hits, and then he just dials it in and goes to work. What did he flip a switch? What happened there in that inning?
Yeah, you know, he's just concentrating on making pitches, you know, really keeping the ball down when he gets in trouble, and he did a really good job right there.
How nice was it to see Masterson come back out and throw another gem last night for you, Mick?
Oh, that was excellent. You know, his tempo, his rhythm, and everything, you know, he's doing right now is working really well. And I mean, he's lights out in his bullpens. He's on a tremendous roll.
Mickey, do you believe in momentum in baseball? And if so, what can Zach McAllister and others take from what Justin has done so far?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Justin set the tone, went out there and threw strikes and pounded the zone and made him hit his pitches. So, you know, if the other pitchers can do that, then we're going to have success.
Well, one more thing, too, is response runs. You don't want to see that other team score after you guys get on the board, correct?
Definitely. You know, we did a great job in that first inning. Swish hit that big 2-run homer, and then Zach went out there and put up a 0. That's what we need to do.
Thanks, Mick.
Yep, thanks for having me, guys.
Indians pitching coach Mickey Callaway as the Indians bat here in the bottom of the second, and Mike Aviles almost chased after it, but able to hold up. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes. And a smash to left field by Aviles. So a 1-out base hit. A little slight fumble with the ball by Viciedo, and Aviles had a notion to maybe go to second, but thought better of it.
Well, you keep going until you make sure that he gets the ball in. Aviles does that. A nice job being down in the count and hitting the ball hard. He got a fastball. And, you know, he almost chased that little backdoor breaking ball the pitch before, but Aviles, a very good fastball hitter. Mike lines it into left field, so they get their 1-out single. Second hit for the Tribe.
Now Yan Gomes looking for his first hit as an Indian, 0 for 7 so far. And he takes inside, ball 1. Backed him off the plate. And the count now 2-0 for Yan Gomes. I mentioned last night that Gomes' first taste of big league action last year with Toronto. He only got 43 games under his belt, but the Blue Jays liked what they saw from him in terms of offensively. They thought he swung the bat well. Had 4 home runs in those 43 games. Taking a strike. It's 2-1 now. And then for the Indians, the most important thing for Gomes, as far as they were concerned, is trying to find out if he could be a true everyday catcher. A guy who's moved around positionally, and Terry Francona liked what he saw in spring training. Now, they could not have envisioned seeing Gomes this early in the season. They basically wanted him to go to AAA, catch every day, really work on the nuances of the game. But hey, sometimes injuries force your hand into making moves.
We see it every year. If not with this team, with other teams, boy, once you break camp, everyone's worried about that 25 guys going north or whatever direction you're heading. And then all of a sudden, by the end of the month, it's totally changed on you because of injuries, because of something else. I mean, you just have to be patient. Anything can happen. When a kid leaves spring training and he's going down to AAA or whatever, you better be ready and go and fulfill your ultimate goal, and that's to get to the big leagues.
Absolutely.
Because it can happen in a day, a week, and sometimes it may last all year where you don't get called up. You just never know.
Gomes, a sky-high pop, shallow center. Out goes Keppinger. In comes Diaza. And Diaza makes the catch and avoids plowing over the top of Keppinger, and there are 2 down. Well, to your point, Rick, I mean, Oakland, blazing start. What happens to them? Yoenis Cespedes down on the 15-day disabled list now. So
for the hand from last night?
Yep.
Well, how about Reyes with Toronto sliding into second base?
Blows up his ankle.
Yes.
They're not sure. It could be 8 weeks. It could be 3 months. They don't know yet the extent of the damage there for Reyes. And we've already talked about Zach Greinke, broken collarbone surgery there. You're right. It doesn't take long.
Carlos Santana, he's fortunate he didn't break anything in his incident.
Jared Weaver broke his non-pitching elbow already. Drew Stubbs taking a strike.
That's why when people talk about the baseball team, you better talk about your 40-man roster that lasts all year long, because you're going to need it to succeed.
The 0-1. Boy, and speaking of injuries, I don't know if you saw this a couple of days ago. I noticed that Scott Sizemore,
with Oakland,
no relation to Grady, but second year in a row, blew out the same knee, has to have the reconstructive surgery all over again.
He misses all year, correct.
You really feel for that young man. That's almost unfair. 2-strike pitch, a little bit high, and Stubbs lays off.
Oh, yeah.
Stubbs bloops one.
Beautiful
over the head
thing.
of Dunn. Down the line. Fair ball. Kicks into foul ground. On his way to third is Aviles. He'll round the bag and hold right there. So Stubbs keeps the inning alive with a perfectly placed bloop right over the head of Adam Dunn at first.
15 love. Stubbs is leading right there on that serve. He served it right there. I don't think he could have threw it there any better. Look at Dunn put his head down. He knows he's not going to get it. It's a matter if it stays fair. It certainly does. With 2 outs, Aviles gets to third. I thought Stubbs was going to go to second base because Dunn had to check that runner at third, but he stays at first base. That'll give Michael Bourne an opportunity now.
Bourne bounced to short his first time up. Indians with runners at the corners and 2 down.
Sale has had 4 2-0 counts, and Stubbs had one, and they've got 2 singles and a walk off the 0-2 counts. Usually where a pitcher just buries you.
Yeah,
they've been successful so far.
Rain falling here at Progressive Field. Not a heavy rain, but just a light drizzle. No 1-0. No, a throw to first instead, but Stubbs wasn't going anywhere. We had pretty good shower earlier this afternoon. The Indians had just started taking batting practice. I'd say they were out for about 20 minutes, and it started coming down sideways. And so they had to scurry off the field and get the tarp down. But that's sort of the forecast. The chance of some on and off sprinkles, but nothing major in the forecast today or tonight. Bourne takes a called strike. We're even up at 1-1. Sale with runners at the corners. Another toss to first. White Sox shade Bourne toward left. The left fielder Viciedo and the center fielder Diaza are in and over toward left. Up and in, he missed.
Yeah, if you make a mistake, if Michael hits the ball off you to right center field, you've made a mistake as a pitcher, because he concentrates, he stays in on the baseball, he stays inside of it, he tries to hit it the other way. You've made a bad pitch if he hits the ball to right center field.
He was trying to pull that one because it was bearing in on him, but he unable to square it up in the count 2-2.
Now you could take a chance if you wanted to try and send Drew Stubbs to steal a base here with 2 strikes on Michael. Although it is deep into the count, you could wait one more if he throws a ball, or you could take the chance of sending him. Figuring he might get a breaking ball here, and if he does, it'd be a good pitch to run on.
Stubbs holds in the 2-2, swung on and missed to end the inning. 2 complete. We are tied at 2. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Four o'clock start here this afternoon as the Indians and White Sox are tied 2-2 going to the third inning. Alex Rios to lead off for Chicago, reached and scored on an error in the first. Takes a strike. In the air, center field, well hit, back goes Bourne, tracking it, and he's got it. One away. Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Jose Reyes mentioned it earlier. You know what I noticed when I saw the video, and if you have a chance to see it, he slid late. And
right.
I think that's what caused it, because we've talked about it before. Those bases are rock hard, and they do not move. He slid late, and he hit it and just rolled it.
Talking to a Toronto scout in that food room today, and he said he was watching it, and he got the reports that, he thought somebody fouled the ball off, and he looked back, and by the time he looked down at the base, he was late. And it was too late to get down, and he ended up, usually you twist your first ankle. You're right, when he twisted the back one trying to slow down.
I saw the interview with Alex Anthopoulos after the ball game, and he didn't know what to say. He said, well, best case scenario, maybe he's out several weeks. Worst case scenario,
who knows?
Who knows? Maybe 3 months or more.
Yeah.
Done. A foul tip held on by Gomes. Third strikeout for McAllister. 2 down in the inning. Well, here's the video we were talking about where our guys are good, aren't they? They are right on it.
On it. Trying to steal a base, and, you see that late slide, and he rolled right over on it, and that doesn't, until you see it, different angles, that he rolled over on that back ankle.
And I tell you, the first couple of times I saw it, I thought it was the front ankle that he hurt. Because usually that's what happens.
Right. It was not the front ankle. It was the back ankle.
But he was in a lot of pain.
It didn't look good, and he said he heard a pop, so that's not good.
With 2 down, Paul Konerko, who had a 2-out RBI single to the opposite field his first time up. Now he pulls one. Cabrera has time, sets and throws, got him. 1-2-3 inning. Well done by Zach McAllister. Middle of the third, tied at 2. As Drupal Cabrera, Ryan Rayburn, and Nick Swisher for the Tribe. Arch and I were just debating on whether or not the fan here at Progressive Field made the right move on the deal or no deal game they were playing.
Deal.
I said take the money and run.
No.
You said no, hold out.
Hold out. Cost him $400.
Well,
he did walk home with $600.
That's right.
Though. I mean,
that's more than he came with.
Mr. Conservative.
I've
seen you in a casino before. You would have been going for the gusto.
Been coming home with empty pockets.
That's okay. You'd be proud of it, though. He went for it.
As Drupal Cabrera bounced to third his first time up.
Now, I agree with you. Take it. You're still up. It's a winning proposition.
Chris Sale deals. Cabrera takes. And now he's down on the count 1-2. And that's the way it goes when a hitter is trying to find his way through a slump. You try to be patient, the next thing you know, you're buried in the count 0-2, 1-2.
Well, you have to, I was thinking about him too, and you can't be patient with this guy. That first pitch might be the best when you get in an at-bat, so you better be ready from pitch number 1.
Our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Name the last White Sox left-hander to win 20 or more games in a season. We'll have the answer coming up later on. As Ryan Rayburn cuts and misses, he walked and scored in the first. There's a good pitch by Sale. He located inside on the corner. Ryan Rayburn didn't think it was. But that's 50 pitches now by Sale. 32 of those have been for strikes. And Rayburn pulls it foul. Popped up, out of play. We had a good pitchers duel last night. They had a good one at Fenway today. Cobb of Tampa, Felix Doubront, the left-hander for the Red Sox. And that was a 2-1 ball game. Rayburn bounces it to short. Ramirez throws him out. 2 away here in the 3rd inning. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. Nick Swisher now extending his Progressive Field hitting streak to 20 games.
There's another guy on that list, Elvis Andrus. He's got a hitting streak against the Indians, doesn't he? I mean, since he came into the league. Not only here, but there. Hitting streak against the Indians.
Swisher's 2-out, 2-run homer in the first tied the game. And now he lifts off again. High, deep to left. Viciedo on the track at the wall. Can't make the catch. And Swisher pulls into second base with a 2-out double. Viciedo was there, but I'm not sure that when he got to the wall, if he didn't try to lift up and the wall kind of blocked his jump. Yeah.
You know what? Swish hit that ball just a hair too high. I don't know how it did not get out of here. That ball has to be caught because what happens, Viciedo does. He backs himself right into the wall. And he goes to reach up to get it. See that? One step too much. That's one reason why, as an outfielder, you have to get back to the wall and make your adjustment to come in. Know where that wall is, because that ball was hit high enough to do that. Take your eye off the ball, get to the wall, and then maybe turn sideways and jump up. He didn't do that. He drifted on it, backed himself into the wall, but Swisher has a 2-out double.
Now let's see if Mark Reynolds can come up with a 2-out RBI hit. And Sale starts him off with a breaking ball. Now the 1-1. Reynolds with a 2-out RBI single right up the middle. It's by Ramirez. Coming around third, Nick Swisher scores with the go-ahead run. Reynolds with his 9th run batted in on the year, and the Indians lead it 3-2.
Well, here they go. 2-out Lightning again. They did it in the first after the walk and the homer. They do it here. A double and now a single. Mark Reynolds hits the ball on the ground into the hole. So this is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. You have to love 2-out RBI hits because it is golden, boy. That'll win you a lot of ball games. 2-out base hits. Reynolds gets his 9th RBI, and the Indians take a 3-2 lead.
In there for a strike. Now the set by Sale as Brantley Oh, Reynolds got a great jump. Swing and a miss. Throw down.
Beautiful.
And he's in there easily with the stolen base.
Went on first movement.
Brantley now down on the count 1-2, but Reynolds has his first steal, third this year for the Indians.
He's just sitting there, just lulling him to sleep. And you just move, and you don't expect Mark Reynolds to run, so you can sneak a base every now and then, and he gets one there, so he gets himself in scoring position. 50th career stolen base.
Now Brantley can pick up an RBI if he can find one through the infield. He lifts one to the outfield. Rios is there to make the catch. But the Indians come through here in the third. Nick Swisher with a double. Reynolds with an RBI single. 3-2 Cleveland. With the Tribe in front, 3-2. I want to follow up. I started to talk about, I think before the action got fast and furious there, the Red Sox Rays. Good pitchers duel. I gave you the starting pitchers that were scheduled to pitch today, but because they got rained out last night, they just used the same starters from last night, which turns out to be a good idea. I mean, you got John Lester for Boston and David Price for Boston.
All right.
I mean, for David Price for Tampa. It was a 2-1 Red Sox win in the 10th inning, though. And it was an infield hit by Shane Victorino, scoring Jacoby Ellsbury to win it for Boston.
Well, McAllister, this second time through the rotation against the White Sox, has been pounding the strike zone. 15 out of 18 pitches have been strikes going through this lineup the second time.
He's retired 6 straight White Sox hitters. Lincoln Callaway has to like what he has seen from McAllister. Viciedo got a piece of that to stay alive. Viciedo just 2 hits in his last 21 at-bats with 9 strikeouts. This guy, though, is so powerful. He has got a very powerful, lower half. You look at his legs.
Oh, yes.
The way he can drive through the baseball, and he can be streaky. If you get him in a hot spell, it seems like everything he hits is a missile.
He's a strong dude, man. He's got a good throwing arm from the outfield. You look at him, he can be a little shaky in left, but I'll tell you, you're right. Power, strength. His nickname is the Tank. They call him Tank in Chicago.
Nothing lost in translation there. putting up a good battle here. Gomes wants a fastball. And it's fouled away again by Viciedo. White Sox yet to win a game on the road. They're 0-4 away from U.S. Cellular Field. Again, the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch, and just the change of pace looked like it was enough to fool Viciedo. Fourth strikeout for McAllister. Here's our great clip of the game from last night, and the overall performance by Justin Masterson worthy of that. Relax. You're at Great Clips.
How good was he? 72% strikes, 22 of 31 first pitch strikes. He had 13 swings and misses, and 13 0-2 1-2 counts.
And after the ball game, Robin Ventura didn't bother talking about his hitters. He just said, that's the best we've ever seen Justin Masterson.
I can say the same thing. I don't think I recall seeing him any better.
There's Jeff Manto,
the
hitting
9
coach.
straight innings.
And, you know, his hitters, you go back, key point in the game. Remember, I believe it was Ramirez, right? Was Ramirez trying to bunt the runner over late in the game?
Sure it was. It was in the 8th inning.
And Robin Ventura said afterwards, he said, you know what, it's not his fault. He said his ball was moving so violently. He said, you know, he's trying to get the bunt down there. But he said, when you got a guy with that much movement, it's tough to bunt it.
Remember, he threw it right in his hands, and he tried to bunt it out there. It was, his movement was, and we've said that all along. Sometimes you just can't explain it because you don't get to see the break as much on TV as you do in that batter's box. And as a hitter, trying to square up on a ball that's moving. Look, it's tough enough to hit a golf ball if you have ever played golf when it's not doing anything. But when you see a ball that's going, you know, every which way and you don't know which way it's going, it's that much tougher. And it's coming at 90 plus.
This guy has been able to hit just about everything they've thrown up there to him. Connor Gillespie.
I like that pitch.
Is already 3 for 4 in the series. Let's go back to last night. This was the bunt attempt.
Watch the movement. See, it starts out there and it ends up on his hand. That was a big out.
Moment. Yep.
Big out in that ball game for Justin.
And Justin talked about how well the defense played behind him. He said, you know, Michael Brantley just sort of ho-hum, plays a ball off the wall and throws out Rios in the first inning. He said, hey, that's a big play. It's a big play early in the game. And his defense was terrific behind him. Now the 2-2 to Gillespie. Up the middle. Cabrera's there. Room service hop for him. Throws him out. 2 down. This was the key play early in the game last night that we were just referring to. Brantley, bare hand grab. Perfect throw, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. That's playing the mini monster here in Cleveland.
I mentioned Yaz to you last night. Remember how well he played the Green Monster at Fenway for all those years?
Yeah.
Brantley looked like an old veteran out there last night playing that carom. And this is a guy who's a center fielder. He hasn't spent a lot of time in left field here at Progressive Field, but you wouldn't know it by the way
he's made some nice plays already this year. He has 2 assists. His arm plays better in left field. I know that.
Cabrera guns down Ramirez. White Sox go 1-2-3, and that's 9 straight retired by McAllister.
MLB.com At Bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Indians baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, and highlights, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Indians.com.
Chris Sale begins the inning, 62 pitches. And Aviles chops one right at the third baseman Gillespie. One down. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pulowski.
Hey, Matt, Rick, let's go to Yankee Stadium where New York's taking on Baltimore. Tied at 2 in the top of the third inning. Nick Markakis, his second homer of the year, a solo shot, makes it 3-2. Baltimore's added 2 more. They lead it 5-2 now in the fourth. Matt?
Thanks, Al. Yan Gomes fly to center his first time up. Quickly down on the count, 0-2. And a smash to third. What a great diving stop by Gillespie, robbing Gomes of his first hit as an Indian. Wow, that was special.
Kid's having a nice series. Yeah, he took a base hit away.
Not an easy hop either.
I know, another 0-2 pitch. The Indians have held their own on 0-2 counts to Chris Sale. But a nice play by Gillespie to pick him, throw him out. That's out number 2.
Well, he had 2 outs, nobody on in the first when the Indians struck and scored a pair. 2 outs, nobody on in the third when the Indians struck and took the lead. In his first 2 starts, Sale averaged less than 14 pitches per inning. But he's gone 19, 24, and 19 through the first 3 here this afternoon.
And another pitcher out there with no sleeves. Masterson was like that last night. Quintana was like that. Obviously, they don't like to throw the baseball with sleeves on. You know, it's a comfort thing,
you
I
get
think.
used to it, I suppose, right?
Maybe feel restricted
How
with
about
2
that?
outs.
Drew Stubbs with a 4-pitch walk after he had 2 outs, nobody on base. This year, Fox Sports is proud to partner with Stomp Out Bullying, the leading national anti-bullying organization for kids and teens in the U.S. Stomp Out Bullying focuses on preventing bullying in all forms and educates against racism, hatred, and violence in schools. To learn how you can help, visit stompoutbullying.org. Michael Bourne, 0 for 2 on the afternoon. And he looks at a first pitch strike. Gillespie at third base, even with the bag. Dunn holding Stubbs at first. And Bourne taking down on the count now, 0-2.
I'd like to send a happy birthday wish out to Big D, Daryl Murphy, out in Louisville, Ohio. Daryl, happy birthday. Big Tribe fan. I'm sure he's tuned into the ball game this afternoon.
Two-strike pitch, a toss to first instead. Runner goes, and the 0-2 is strike 3 called to end the inning. So Chris Sale retires the Tribe here in the fourth without allowing a run. 3-2 Cleveland. Brought to you by Panini's with 19 locations in Northeast Ohio. And by your local Toyota dealers for over 30 Toyota offers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Cool and cloudy in downtown Cleveland. 3-2. Tribe on top as we go to the 5th inning. The Detroit Tigers are trying to put an end to Oakland and the A's' reign of terror. Oakland has won 9 straight games. But the Tigers using the long ball out at the Oakland Coliseum today. Torrey Hunter has homered, Prince Fielder has homered, and Johnny Peralta just hit a 3-run homer. 5-1 Detroit.
They tried to do it yesterday. Prince Fielder hit a 3-run homer, and the A's won it, 4-3 in extra innings.
Tyler Flowers now down on the count 0-2. That was a walk-off home run for Josh Donaldson.
That is correct. Down the right field line.
Up high, Flowers wouldn't chase. Remember, that's how McAllister got him out first time up. Rode that fastball up and in on him. Flowers couldn't hold up. Paints the outside corner this time with it. 5th strikeout for Zach. Here are the streaking Oakland A's, winners of 9 in a row. And last night, the hero is Josh Donaldson, just inside the pole.
Slice it just down the line. And those two went at it in the playoffs last year for the championship series. Detroit moved on. Oakland went home. So they're trying to make a statement. That's a pretty good team out there that you don't hear a lot about, and everybody's giving it to the Angels and the Texas Rangers, but the Oakland A's have something to say about it.
Well, they start out 6-0 on the road.
Well, they were 0-2. They lost their first 2 games and won 9 straight.
De Aza has flied out, struck out. Pop foul out of play.
Boy, Zach McAllister following suit after Masterson just pounding the strike zone. First time through, hitters were 4 for 9. And he was right around 70%, 69%. Second time through, 0 for 9 and over 80% strikes.
Well, he's 50 out of 65 pitches.
He's unbelievable.
For strikes.
You know, as a hitter, and you see that, and they're going through the lineup that they've been through it 2 times, you're thinking, I got to get him early. You know, you look at that first pitch. You don't want him to get ahead of you when you're throwing that many strikes. You would think he would have some easy innings with maybe 8-9 pitches because hitters are going to get aggressive early. But he has 5 strikeouts.
Popped up on the infield. Cabrera says, I'll take it. He does. 2 down.
Well, you don't want to miss the Boston Red Sox when they come to town. After the off day on Monday, they will be here for 3 consecutive games, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Great seats still remain. Want to remind you, 12-ounce beers are now only $4, and hot dogs $3 for every home game. If you would like tickets, go to Indians.com.
Jeff Keppinger with a line drive base hit. He goes the other way. That snaps a string of 11 in a row retired by McAllister.
But there's that first pitch that the hitters are going to get after. Come in with a fastball. Keppinger takes him the other way. He's had 2 hits, 1 to left. He's going to take that little 2-seamer and take it to right field. 5 hits now for the White Sox, 2 for Keppinger.
Well, as hot as the Oakland A's have been, the Atlanta Braves have now won 8 in a row in the National League. They beat Washington and Steven Strasburg today behind Tim Hudson, who went 7 innings of 4-hit baseball. 3-1 the final today for Atlanta.
Came back and had to win last night. Washington had a 4-0 lead on them.
Fastball tried to paint the outside corner, and I mean missed by inches.
Yeah, you go out there and he's trying to get that little comeback, that little sling back pitch, and it just missed. Good try.
Rios with a liner to deep left. Back is Brantley. Makes the head high catch to end the inning. So another strong inning of work for Zach McAllister. 3-2 Cleveland. Ryan Rayburn and Nick Swisher, 2 up. Cabrera 0 for 2. He has grounded out and he has struck out.
You know, you were talking about you get into a little funk like Cabrera's in right now. That's what you want to do. You have a tendency, I want to try and be more patient and see a lot of pitches. Be aggressive. That's when he's at his best. He didn't hit that ball that well, but you know what? You got to hit. That's the positive thing right there.
That snaps an 0 for 13 slump for Asdrubal Cabrera.
You know, you go down there and you see it. It looked like a changeup off the end of the bat. But you know what? You're aggressive with it. All right, so you get a base hit. That's got to make you feel a little bit better.
You could see him looking at the end of the bat saying, I didn't even hit that good and I got a hit on that one.
There you go.
You know?
Sometimes the less you try, the better off you are.
There's Ryan Rayburn, walked and scored in the first, grounded out his last time up. Let's go downstairs to Katie Witham. She's got more on Rayburn and his chance to start here today. Well, we'll try to check in with Katie. The pitch from Sale. Rayburn fouls it straight back. Let's try again, Katie.
Well, guys, Ryan Rayburn was the opening day second baseman for the Detroit Tigers last year, so filling in for Kipnis today, nothing new. He told me, though, his job this year is to go out there and make it as difficult as possible for those coaches to put the lineup together. The key for him to his hot start this spring was actually taking a step back and relaxing.
There's a long drive deep left. Back is Viciedo on the track, looking up high off the wall. Coming into third. Cabrera's going to be waved home. Now the stop sign goes on, and he stays at third base. Ryan Rayburn just missed, hitting one out of here to left field. And the Indians are in business now here in the 5th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Well, you had to stop him. Nobody out. And I'll tell you, this is the second time. Rayburn did this once in Tampa. He just missed a home run, and he thought he had enough of it. It might have been a little bit off the end of the bat. But you'll see as Viciedo goes over there, it doesn't miss by much. Cabrera off and running all the way, so he had his head down thinking of scoring. Had to hold him up, give the hot man a chance to drive him in. Swish with 2 hits today.
2-run homer in the 1st. He doubled in the 3rd. Key play back in that 3rd inning because Viciedo was there in time to make a play. But he jumped into the wall and never really got a good chance to catch it. And that wound up a double for Swisher, who scored on Mark Reynolds' base hit with 2 outs in that 3rd inning. That's the difference in this game to this point. Down and in and hit him.
It's back leg slider. Caught him in the back leg. They're going to ask for help, and it's to no avail.
So the bases are loaded with nobody out, and Mark Reynolds coming to the plate.
You know, you get back there, it's that back foot slider after he dropped one in. He go to the back leg, and Swish couldn't get it. He did check his swing. He didn't swing, by the way. If you watch that ball go in and get him in the thigh, just above the knee, you can see he checked his swing. So now you got bases loaded.
Taking one of those in the thigh on a day like this.
Well, then you still got a little meat there. That's okay.
Got a sting.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Charlie Horse. All right, 80 pitches for Sale on the afternoon. Bases loaded, nobody out. Mark Reynolds, who drove in the go-ahead run for the Tribe in the 3rd. Downstairs, ball 1. Caught the outside corner. Reynolds doesn't like it. Count evens at 1-1.
Well, it was away. Fastball. I think Mark Reynolds thought it was a little down, maybe a little away.
Yeah, that's a pitcher's pitch if there ever was one.
Yeah, you don't want to swing at that with the count in your favor.
Reynolds with a drive, deep left field. See you later. Going to the bleachers. A grand slam for Mark Reynolds.
How about that? That's 4 quick ones, baby. You can't get up and go away when this guy's at the dish because he has that possibility to hit one out every time.
Already his 5th home run of the year for the Tribe. And that is a massive blow to make it a 7-2 Indians lead.
And that's the big one. The grand slam, 2nd home run of the afternoon for the Tribe. He and Swisher are having some kind of afternoon.
2nd career grand slam for Mark Reynolds. And the first 4 all reach and score in the 5th for the Indians. Oh, and Brantley drilled, and that's probably going to be it for Sale. No, they just warned him.
That's a warning. That's a warning.
I don't know, man. You hit the guy with the next pitch? How is that not viewed as intentional?
Well, we saw that with Carrasco. Obviously, it's the umpire's judgment.
It's just the fact that it's the very next pitch. Everybody is in that Indians dugout is saying, all right, come on now.
Yeah, got him in the back leg, the back of the right leg. And you're right. First pitch way behind the hitter. Statement, divisional game. Long way to go throughout the course of the year.
Bobby Thigpen, acting pitching coach, in the absence of Don Cooper, will make a trip to the mound here. Mike Aviles will be the batter. It's the 2nd Indians hitter drilled in the inning by a pitch.
Well, here you go. There's that slider that Reynolds kept his hands back that time, and Sale knew it. second right-handed Indians bat to go deep. Swisher went deep on a 2-run homer with 2 outs in the first. Now the grand slam with nobody out here in the 5th. Boy, oh boy, that guy, he can hit him out at any time. You find that zone, he gets in, you look out, because I don't think there's any ballpark that'll hold him.
Mark Reynolds gets a big bear hug from Nick Swisher as the Indians have opened it up here with a 4 spot in the 5th. Activity in the Chicago bullpen. Deontay Heath. Mike Aviles singled back in the 2nd inning, and that's down and in. The umpire talking to Tyler Flowers, the catcher, and I think he's going out to, oh, maybe it's just the baseball he wants. Yeah, they're on the horn. It looks like Sale has run out of gas with 86 pitches in here.
Well, that's this big inning, the grand slam. That put a damper on his afternoon.
Avila sends one sky high to right. Rios makes the catch. That's the first out in the inning. Back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al.
Hey, Matt, out to Oakland we go. Tigers and A's, 4th inning. Johnny Peralta at the plate with 2 on. See ya. 3-run homer against Brett Anderson. Justin Verlander on the hill for the Tigers. He's in the lead now, 5-1. They're in the 5th in Oakland. Matt.
Time now for today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen as Robin Ventura has seen enough of Chris Sale this afternoon. He lasts just 4 1/3 innings as the Indians hammer him for 7 runs. The big blow, the grand slam by Mark Reynolds. Deontay Heath will be coming on when we come back. (7-2) Indians on top. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning after Mark Reynolds clobbered a grand slam off Chris Sale. And now Deontay Heath coming into the ball game to face Yan Gomes.
He was just recalled from Charlotte before last night's game. Made 3 appearances with the White Sox last year. So Chris Sale, a guy that came in 2-0 against the Indians in his career, 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, is responsible for the man on first base, Michael Brantley. But they got to him. 2 long balls, couple of doubles. In every other inning, the first, the third, and the fifth, they were able to get to him.
Yan Gomes, 0 for 2 this afternoon. There's Mark Reynolds. Team high 5 homers. 13 runs batted in. Yan Gomes with a charge to deep center. Diaz back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Yan Gomes' first hit as an Indian is a home run to straightaway center field. A 2-run blast here in the 5th makes it a 6-run inning for the Indians.
Well, Yan Gomes, congratulations, buddy. He hits first hit as an Indian, and he takes advantage of it. They will go retrieve that baseball for him, I'm sure. But he went to straightaway central. And that's the 3rd home run for the Indians of the game, 2nd one of the inning. And it's a 6-run 5th inning.
Now Drew Stubbs, who has singled and walked this afternoon. Stubbs lifts one to left center. That's trouble. Dropping in a hurry, but there to get it is Diaz, 2 away.
How about that? He's not going to spot him that first fastball. Stayed middle of the plate down, and look at Gomes' head looking right on the baseball. Good swing. He knew he hit it hard, and he hit it hard enough to get out of here in straightaway center. And that's not bad for a guy that wasn't in the lineup to start the day.
How about Chris Sale, who sailed through his first 2 starts with a 1.84 ERA, charged with 8 runs in 4 1/3 innings here today. Bourne lifts one to left. Viciedo on the move, makes the catch, and the inning is over. The Indians bat around here in the 5th, and they batter Chris Sale into submission. Mark Reynolds' grand slam opens the floodgates for the Indians. (9-2). The Indians have opened it up here at Progressive Field. We go to the 6th inning, and Adam Dunn, Paul Konerko, Diane Viciedo due up for Chicago. Well, the 3, 4, 5 hitters, the guys that can do a lot of damage, Alex Rios, Adam Dunn, Paul Konerko, they have seen 19 pitches, 16 strikes now.
Well, Zach McAllister has been very, very good this afternoon. Pounding the strike zone. Well over 70% strikes. We said Masterson was at 72 yesterday. Zach was at 76 going into this inning.
Yeah.
How about that?
A little bit outside. Light rain once again falling here at Progressive Field. Up and away, 3 balls and a strike. First 3-ball count today by McAllister. And a swing and a miss to run the count full. Zach did not have a walk in his first start against Tampa, so that tells you, for the most part, he has pitched ahead. Got him looking. Dunn's already halfway down to first. Still doesn't realize he's been called out. Right turn, Clyde. Half dozen Ks for McAllister.
Well, here's a guy that always sees a lot of pitches. He was running down the line thinking it was a ball, either working it or not, but McAllister has been around the plate, and usually when you are going to get the benefit of the doubt.
A little bit high,
he
ball
might
one.
have there, but
Konerko an RBI hit in the first. This time he bangs it to third. Mike Aviles, long throw across, right on the money, 2 down.
well, season tickets assure you the best seats at the lowest prices, and only season ticket holders can get Tribe Rewards, giving you access to unique opportunities. Full and partial season ticket plans are on sale now. Just go to Indians.com.
Diane Viciedo, 0 for 2. Swung at I believe that was a slider that just went straight down at 80 miles an hour. Really pulled the string on him. High sky pop. Shallow right. Out goes Rayburn. He's under it, and he's got it. And the White Sox go 1-2-3 as McAllister continues to cruise. It's a 9-2 Indians lead with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up for the Tribe. Face paint maybe running a little bit with the rain falling here this afternoon. Not exactly ideal, but another hearty band of patrons here this afternoon at Progressive Field. As Drupal Cabrera, Ryan Rayburn, Nick Swisher. Those three guys started it in the 5th. Single, a double, and then Swisher was hit, loaded the bases. Mark Reynolds then unloaded him with a slam to the bleachers. Now, Rick, you were talking earlier about Cabrera, and guys getting off to a little bit of a slow start. And granted, 10 games in, it's not.
No,
we're not calling it major issues. But it got me thinking about Paul Konerko, who's just been really a model of consistency throughout his career. But his worst year in the big leagues back, I believe it was 03. I can look it up here in a second. I think it was 2003. He got off to a start where he hit 197 in the first half. Now he's going into the All-Star break below the Mendoza line.
Wow.
He battled back to get his average up 234, so he raised it, almost 40 points in the second half.
After you already have 250, almost 300 at bats.
That's when you get to that point, that's when it's like, oh boy.
Well, you almost, as a hitter, I guess the point in time comes, and it happens to people every season. You just forget about your start. You're trying to make up for it, and you're doing. Then you just finally say, heck with it. I got to go out and do today, and you forget the past, and you can't try and make good. Make up for it.
Draws a walk. Good sign there. Gets the base hit off the end of the bat in the 5th. Now he sees a lot of pitches, draws a walk.
Get on base.
Next man up, Ryan Rayburn, who has walked, doubled, and scored 2 runs this afternoon. What a job Rayburn has done. Not only does he step into the lurch with Kipnis ailing with a little bit of a tender elbow, so not only does he get in there at second base, but he goes right into the 3-hole.
Well, he handles the bat well. This guy can hit. I'll tell you, he's a good dead red hitter, a fastball hitter. And he's a valuable guy. He made some nice plays in the outfield in Tampa.
Yep.
When he got the starts
there, throw to the
plate. And he can help you out at second base. He may not be an everyday player, but I'll tell you one thing: he deserves at bats.
Well,
and he's a good guy to have on your ball club.
And you like the fact that A, he knows how to handle this role, and B, he'll come to the park every day expecting to play.
And rightfully so. You know what? Every player should come to the park every day expecting to play.
He should. Swung on and missed. Deontay Heath strikes out Rayburn. 1 down here in the 6th. Game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Nick Swisher in the bottom of the 1st erased a 2-0 deficit with a 2-out, 2-run homer. And then Mark Reynolds gave the Tribe the lead in the 3rd with a 2-out RBI single. Then in the 5th, Mark Reynolds turned out the lights on Chris Sale with a grand slam. Since then, Yan Gomes has gone deep for a 2-run homer to make it 9-2. Down low, ball 1. One ball and 1 strike. With Cabrera at first. out of play. So Nick Swisher, with 2 more hits today, is now 6 for 11 here at Progressive Field on the year. Really had that ball had some bite. It was bearing in on him, and Nick did well just to get out of the way. He was almost hit for the second time this afternoon.
Well, you could hear him scream to get out of the way. That's down there. You get back. You've already been hit once. You don't want it twice.
Up high, and it's ball 4. So Swisher has been hit by a pitch and now walked in his last 2 trips. 2 walks in the inning, 2 on, 1 out for Mark Reynolds. Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, why Trevor Bauer should not be judged by 1 start. Is Byron Scott's time in Cleveland coming to an end? Who are the standouts from today's annual Scarlet and Gray game being played down in Cincinnati? Get complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com. Mark Reynolds, 5 ribbies in the game, with 2 on, 1 out here in the 6th. Chop foul.
What an afternoon. 5 ribbies. Grand slam already. His 5th home run. And he's getting a chance to play first base today as well.
Now down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Fastball low and away. Wind almost feels like it's shifted a little bit, coming more straight in from left than it was earlier in the game. That's low. 2-2. Tom Bochenek tells me it's the 5th time in the career of Mark Reynolds that he has driven in 5 runs in a game. But an opportunity to make it even more than that now. The 2-2. Pops it up. Center field. Diaza will make the catch. And the runners hold 2 down. That's going to bring up Michael Brantley. Series finale between the Indians and the White Sox tomorrow afternoon. It's a 1 o'clock game. Brett Myers against Jake Peavy. We'll have it for you once again on Sports Time Ohio. Hope to see you down here at the ballpark if you can make it. Brantley with a ground ball to short. Ramirez goes the long way to end the inning. 6 in the books. The Indians 9 and the White Sox 2. field as you get a look in from our Panini Cam, brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. Not a nice day here at the yard. Rain continuing to just kind of mist and fall and blow around.
Thank goodness we at least started at 4 today. If it was a night game, these night games at 7 o'clock in April, the way this weather's been, they're tough. Tough for the players to get out there. That wind picks up, and boy, it is chilly. Last night, the wind chill factor was, what, mid-30s?
Yeah. And as Nick Swisher said after the game, he said it felt like it was in the 20s.
Well, it does when you're out there after a while. You get no feeling in your hands when you're playing defense. I'll tell you what, though, I give the pitchers a lot of credit. They were out throwing strikes. They have to still get a grip on the baseball, and great job.
Connor Gillespie, a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Two-strike pitch. Fouled out of play by Gillespie. Terry Francona and Mickey Callaway talking things over. They have activity in the bullpen, but McAllister at 85 pitches really in command, cruising along here. Gillespie follows it out
he
of
could
play.
probably go longer, but you want to get that bullpen work. They haven't pitched since Tuesday. It's already Saturday. 2 rainouts, and then you come back and Masterson pitched so well.
Yep.
Complete game, and you've got guys out there that, you better get some work in.
Fly ball to right. Stubbs broke back, now in to make the catch. 1 away. All right, let's get the answer to our trivia question now. The last White Sox lefty.
He's a veteran, still working, and this guy, he was, you talk about working quickly as a pitcher, Jim Cott.
1975.
He played for about 26 years in the major leagues, numerous. I think about 15 gold gloves.
Yeah. Still does an outstanding job when
yes,
you hear him.
He's a
MLB
nice man.
Network.
He was with the Yankees for a while. Yeah, good man. Very knowledgeable.
That one got Ramirez, ran in.
It did. He was going out there, and then that ball just comes up and catches him on the wrist.
And Ramirez on a cold day, that hurts regardless. On a day like this, it hurts even worse.
The ball just runs in and gets him. See, that's coming in. He didn't get out of the way. He was going out there after it. Yeah, painful way to get the base. And it looks like Robin's talking to the home plate umpire as he goes back.
That's going to be it for
both
McAllister.
Guys were warned. Both teams, but that certainly was not intentional by any means. And Terry Francona goes to take the ball, and what a wonderful job this afternoon by Zach McAllister.
Excellent job. McAllister will lead to a chorus of cheers from the hometown crowd here this afternoon. And time now for today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Brian Shaw will be coming on when we come back. 9-2 Indians, 7th inning. 1 on, 1 out for Chicago. Tyler Flowers coming up, and Brian Shaw will make his 3rd appearance. Shaw's a hard thrower with really good command from what we've seen so far. But as Rick said, the key now is these guys haven't pitched in 4 or 5 days. So.
Right. They need some work. Shaw's a guy that looks a little sneaky to me. A lot like maybe Vinny Pastano, where you see a lot of bats, and this is early. I haven't had a whole lot of time to see him pitch. But it seems like the ball gets on these guys in a hurry. What an afternoon for Zach McAllister.
Shaw has not pitched in 8 days. Last game he pitched in was against Tampa Bay on April 5th. Down low, ball 1. There's a reason why he's the first guy into this game, because he's gone the longest of anybody in the bullpen without pitching. High pop, foul ground. Is there room for
Nope.
Reynolds?
No.
No, sir. Just about anything hit in the air to the right side is going to get pushed into the seats by that wind. Nick Hagedorn just called up. Is up in the bullpen right now. High pop. This should be playable.
Watch that ball. As you mentioned, it keeps going. Keep the feet moving.
Rayburn there to grab it. 2 down. Well, Zach McAllister, like Justin Masterson, I asked Mickey Callaway about momentum. He went out and followed Masterson's blueprint.
Boy, he did. It seemed like pitch for pitch, too. He had a good fastball. He threw some good sliders as well as changeups and pounded the strike zone. Well over 70% strikes. Look, when you get 60% strikes, it's good. When you're up into that 70% percentile, that's outstanding.
Ooh, you went percentile on us.
Yeah, 66 strikes, 74 percentile. I think Bo wrote that down on the chart for me. He looks good in his earmuffs today, doesn't he?
Every day. Here's the pitch to Diaza, and it's a called strike to even the count at 1-1. Alexei Ramirez hit by the pitch. Good block by Yan Gomes. I was just looking too, Rick. I mentioned Shaw hasn't pitched in 8 days. It's been 6 days for Vinny Pastano and Joe Smith, and 5 days for Chris Perez, Rich Hill, Cody Allen. Now, Rich Hill, I think he was up in the bullpen.
Yes, he was last night just to get loose. He had him ready last night.
Outside, 3-1. There's Nick Hagedorn, added to the roster before yesterday's series opener. And that's out of play to the left, a full count. Have we seen the sun since opening day? I was just trying to remember.
We haven't seen it since Tampa.
Well, it was
last
here opening
weekend.
day. Oh, it was here on opening day.
Where? Where we go?
It was in and out. You didn't see it? It
What
poked
we
out
got?
from behind
Your
the clouds a few
iPad
times.
or something?
No.
I didn't see it.
Runner goes and a foul.
Ouch.
Diaza nails it off of his own leg.
That's off the back knee. Ouch. Boy, I would recommend that hitters don't do that today in this kind of weather. I know they're not trying to, and boy, oh boy, they got to shake it off. That's a tough way to go, man. Yeah, he's saying, Give me a minute. Well, you don't have to ice it because it's cold enough. It's icing itself.
It's the beauty of playing in Cleveland in April. Self-icing on the field while you play.
Between the lines.
The 3-2 with the runner going, and Diaza drills it deep to right field, and that will find the seats for a 2-run homer. And Diaza has his second home run of the year. And it's a 9-4 Indians lead.
Yeah, this is where that guy likes the ball down. And when you start, I bet he didn't get this one in enough to where he wanted it. And that's where Diaza can really turn on it, and it gets out in a hurry. So Diaza hits his second homer. Let's check the zone here. See that? That ball stayed middle third of that plate. Didn't get it in enough. It looked like a little cutter. And that cutter left the yard.
Now we got a little sleet falling. Awesome.
Yeah.
Fouled right
no,
back.
that's sun coming out.
Liquid sunshine, baby.
The fans are going for some cover.
Down in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Keppinger shoots it back. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Indians with 6 runs in the 5th inning to open this game up. Now Brian Shaw with a 1-2 delivery. And that slider was in the dirt in the other batter's box. So it's one thing to haven't pitched in 5, 6, 7, in his case 8 days. And then your first time out is in these conditions.
Right.
Like,
it's a difficult. It is difficult.
ground ball to second. Rayburn is there, gobbles it up, throws him out, and the inning is over. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be.
Well, the Red Sox coming to town for their only visit on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, a 3-game series after the Monday off day. Want to remind you that 12-ounce beers again are only $4. Hot dogs $3 for every home game. And then to get your tickets, you want to go to Indians.com. Wrap up this 3-game series tomorrow against the White Sox. Have Monday off, first off day of the year for the Indians. Well, official off day. We had a couple of rainouts, of course.
Mike Aviles to lead off for the Tribe as Donnie Veal is now in the game for Chicago. Left-hander coming out for the 6th time already. Bottom third of the Indians' order, all right-handed bats. Two balls and one strike. Bouncer to short. And Alexei Ramirez throws out Mike Aviles. And we go back to the Hyundai Studios once again. Here's Al.
All right, Matt, let's head to Target Field. The Twins taking on the Mets. It was scoreless into the 5th inning. Marlon Byrd, a home run. Right now, the Mets are up 4-1. The story, Matt Harvey. He took a no-hitter into the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs. It was broken up by a Morneau home run. Matt?
Looks beautiful, Al. No snow today, huh?
Now it's starting to move our way.
They were really nervous about the potential for heavy snowfall, maybe giving them trouble there to play in that series.
They had to remove some snow off the field on an off day prior to that series starting.
Downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, I think if they'd have had a game scheduled Thursday, they'd have been in trouble.
Yes, indeed.
But it worked out, as it usually does, one way or the other. Gomes hits one high in the air to right. And Rios has that for out number 2. Now it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Mark Reynolds, his 5th home run of the year for the Indians, a grand slam. Hard to believe with all the home runs he's hit. That's only his 2nd career grand slam.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
But he got a slider and he juiced it.
That was the first 4 guys of the inning. Single, double, hit batter, salami.
Drew Stubbs has singled, walked, and fly to center. Tigers still lead the Oakland A's 7-1. They're in the 7th inning at the Coliseum. Baltimore 5-3 over the Yankees. Al just told you Mets lead the Twins 4-1 in the 8th. Still a lot of action left coming up tonight. Stubbs strikes out and the inning is over. That's the first time today the Indians have gone 1-2-3.
Authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Indians with a 9-4 lead, 8th inning. Nick Hagedorn coming on to work now out of the Tribe bullpen. Big left-hander. Pitched well this spring, had an opportunity, really did everything he could, to be part of this club coming out of spring training. But with the roster shuffling, and then all of a sudden you get some injuries and a lot of things
the numbers
get moving.
Game.
Yeah.
But you know what? He was good last season and then had a little rough spell and ended up, breaking the hand. Ran into trouble there. Had a little emotion problem after a ball game. And, the guy's got a great arm. His key for the Indians, can he throw strikes? Can he get in that zone? Not many do you see. He reminds me a little bit of a Matt Thornton with the White Sox, a tall left-hander that throws mid-90s. He's got a breaking ball as well. Now it's just a matter of establishing himself here at the major league level.
Hagedorn pitched 2 1/3 innings at AAA before the call-up. He had 5 strikeouts out of the 12 batters he faced. Did walk 3, so that's something that's still a work in progress for Hagedorn. Rios 0 for 3. Man, he drills this one deep right. Stubbs back, makes the catch. Let's go back and revisit our keys to the game. Follow the master. McAllister did exactly that. 6 1/3, allowing just 1 run, striking out 6. He followed right in Masterson's footsteps, and the Indians roughed up Chris Sale, who had sailed through his first 2 starts of the year. But the Indians ambushed him today with the big bats. A big home run by Swisher in the first. A grand slam by Reynolds in the 5th. Michael Bourne settles under that, and Adam Dunn flies to center. So Rios, Dunn, and Konerko have now combined to go 0 for 11 in the ballgame.
Well, season tickets assure you the best seats at the lowest prices, and only season ticket holders get Tribe Rewards. That gives you access to unique opportunities. Full and partial season ticket plans are on sale now.
1 for 11, I should say. Rios, Dunn, and Konerko 1 for 11. Konerko had the 2-out RBI single in the first. But that's been it for the big guys in the middle. They've seen a lot of strikes. McAllister set the tone, following Masterson's blueprint by pounding the strike zone, working ahead. Hagedorn deals, and it's a little bit too tall. Addison Reed getting up in the Chicago pen. Remember, they were swept in Washington, so Reed, like some of the Indians pitchers, needing some work. Ripped foul, third base side. It's been, I think, 6 days since Addison Reed last pitched. If I could find his name, there it is. Yeah, it's been 6 days for him. Paul Konerko, 33 home runs shy of the White Sox franchise record.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Frank Thomas holds that with 448. So the question is, Paul Konerko, he's 37. So could this be his last year as a White Sox player? I mean, would they offer him another contract after this?
I think they would. Sure, they would. A lot has to do with how he goes this year.
You're right. You can't make that call now.
The older you get, I mean, everybody says, when you hit a slump, you start tailing off when you hit a certain age. But Konerko has been very productive, certainly could come back, in my estimation, as a hitter. He still has quick enough hands. He still can do damage. And he can still play first base, every now and then. So to be successful, yes, I think he has a shot at that record. In Chicago, when that weather starts warming up in the summertime, he gets locked in. This guy is really good. He's got a nice short swing.
The 2-2. That's bloop toward right. Out goes Rayburn. Nice over the shoulder catch. And a 1-2-3 8th inning for left-hander Nick Hagedorn. Nine-4 Tribe on top as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And a reminder to stay tuned right after the ball game for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. We'll have the highlights, reaction from the clubhouse, and final thoughts, all wrapped up in a nice package. Addison Reed, the White Sox closer, who's a perfect 3 out of 3 in save situations, coming on to get some work here. It's been 6 days since he last pitched. He'll face the top of the order, Michael Bourne, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Ryan Rayburn. Chop to first. Done. The flip, and Reed just does beat Bourne to the bag. Michael made it close. Gotta love that hustle. Box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. And for the Tribe, even without Bourne setting the table, they've done some damage here today.
Yeah, a couple of long balls. Make it 3. A couple of doubles. Some big hits. 2 out. Their first 3 runs scored with 2 outs.
Now, nice to see both Rayburn and Aviles, getting the start. Rayburn getting the start because Kipnis couldn't go. Jan Gomes wasn't in the original starting lineup because they thought Santana would be back in there. They both contribute. Gomes gets his first hit as an Indian, and it's a 2-run homer. Rayburn had the big double that was a key in starting that red-hot 5th inning. He also walked in front of the Swisher homer in the first. And maybe Asdrubal Cabrera has turned a corner, so to speak. He was 0 for his first 2 and didn't look good. Grounded to third on the first pitch he saw in the first, struck out in the third. Then he got a base hit off the end of the bat in the fifth, and then saw some pitches, walked in the sixth. You know, you said it before. You don't see a hitter break out of a slump with a 5-for-5 game. It's slow. It's usually little steps.
Yeah, it's a process. You know, where it's quality at bats throughout the course of the game, whether they translate into hits. I don't care what, as long as you just consider them good at bats. And then you start building over time. You know, give me 2 good at bats this game, and then maybe tomorrow you get 3. Something that really takes time. That's why when you're in there every day, you don't worry about it. You just continue to work to improve thought process and physically what you're doing inside the batter's box.
And a strikeout for Cabrera. Foul tip, 2 down. Wednesday night is Cavs Viewer Appreciation Night on Fox Sports Ohio, presented by Kia Motors. Tune in to our telecast starting with Cavaliers Live at 6:30 for your chance to enter and win great prizes throughout the night. Cavs versus the Hornets. Viewer Appreciation Night Wednesday at 6:30, presented by Kia Motors. 2 down for Ryan Rayburn, who takes the fastball for a strike. 11,422. The attendance here this afternoon, and the folks who have stuck it out have been rewarded with really another well-pitched, well-played game by the Indians under some really adverse conditions for the fans. Because if you're just sitting out there and not moving around.
Well, you're right. We give a tip of the old cable cap to the fans as well. They're sitting out there in all the wind and the weather conditions.
Here's the 0-2 and a swing and a miss to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Indians. We go to the ninth. 9-4 Cleveland. Nine-4 Tribe, ninth inning. Stay tuned after the game for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. If you missed any of the action today, stay tuned. We're going to go back and look at the highlights. In particular, we're going to break down that 5th inning in which the Indians erupted for 6 runs. Katie will have reaction from the clubhouse. It's all straight ahead on Indians Live. Joe Smith coming on to pitch now for the Indians. Nick Hagedorn worked the 1-2-3 8th inning. And Joe Smith now on to pitch the 9th, his 4th appearance of the year. It will be Diane Viciedo, Connor Gillespie, and Alexei Ramirez. Just a reminder, game time tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We'll have it for you right here on Sports Time Ohio as the Indians and the White Sox put the wraps on their series. Then an off day Monday. Homestand continues Tuesday night when the Boston Red Sox come to town to start a 3-game series. Just missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled right back. Not sure how the Red Sox might have to juggle their rotation with the rain out yesterday, or what they might be doing. They've got Dubrat scheduled for Tuesday, Aceves for Wednesday, Lester for Thursday. So that's 2.
Are they off Monday as well? That's what we got to check out. I think they play.
They've
Patriots
got that Patriots Day
yeah,
game.
10 o'clock, so they'll get in here early Monday night. Bo gives me this number, Matty. Masterson and McAllister in the series. 15 and a third innings pitched by both of them. 1 earned run. Gave up 10 hits. They've walked 2, 13 strikeouts. They had 25 swings and misses. So Masterson had 13. That means Zach had 12. And they threw 73% strikes. That's a pretty good 2 games. Especially in these conditions.
Yeah, well, and especially given what happened to him in the first 2 games of the homestand. You open up against the Yankees, you get banged around.
Well, those rainouts, Mother Nature came in at the right time, I guess.
Fouled right back.
He's not giving him any breathing room in there, is he?
No swinging room whatsoever. Robin Ventura's team 3 outs away from falling to 0-5 on the road to start the year. As Dribble Cabrera throws out Viciedo, 1 down. Connor Gillespie 1 for 3 on the day. He had come into this contest with 3 consecutive multi-hit games after going 2 for 3 last night. Acquired on February 22nd, so right about the time camps were opening up. Sort of an odd time to make a deal like that.
Yeah, early in spring, you're right, it is.
He hits 1 to deep right, but Stubbs there. That ball didn't carry at all. 2 down. So that will leave it up to Alexei Ramirez as Joe Smith tries to work a 1-2-3 ninth inning and bring this baby to a close. 9 runs, 9 hits. 1 error, 6 left for the Indians. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 4 stranded for Chicago. And it was 9-2 in the 7th inning when Alejandro Diaza hit a 2-run homer to get Chicago to within 9-4. Ramirez showing bunt and taking a called strike. To right field. A base hit. Stubbs will cut it off, but Ramirez is on his way to second base with a 2-out double. The batter will be Tyler Flowers with 1 on and 2 away. Flowers 0 for 3 today and 0 for his last 20 at the plate. Swung on and missed. A little bit low. Now the 1-1. Foul tipped. And a count of ball and 2 strikes. Joe Smith has pounded the strike zone following suit. After McAllister did it to the tune of 75% today, he's 13 out of 16, and now he strikes out Flowers to end the game. What a job by Indians pitching. More importantly, what a job by the offense to break out here this afternoon as the Indians rout the White Sox 9-4 the final. They've won the first 2 of the series and a chance to sweep Chicago now tomorrow afternoon here at Progressive Field. Today's key